Hello, my name is Jack Blade. Welcome back to my channel, and today we are looking at some tips and tricks, and specifically picking your starting location. Now, I would first like to argue that you shouldn't be tied to one place enough that any one specific starting location matters too much. But you can make it easier by not going for any one of these specific ones. Okay? So what I will do is I'm going to take you to my top 3 picks for starting locations. And I will tell you exactly why those 3 starting locations are the best. So let's jump over to the first one. In third place, I'm putting this location. This is the same location that I started at in the beginner series that I started. When thinking like long-term future and everything, this one probably has the least to go for it. But I picked it because it is the most beginner-friendly one, I would argue. It is closer to one of the drop points, which is out here. This is the other part from my first episode where I was going through conveyors, conveyor lifts, and some stuff with pipes. And it's on YouTube if you want to check that out. But yeah, one of the reasons why I picked this one is it has only pure nodes, so there's a pure copper node, and then there are 1, 2, and then one that is buried here, 3 iron nodes that are pure, and it has 2 pure limestone nodes, 1 here and 1 over here. Meaning, in this location, you have multiple high grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 high grade nodes to start off your starter base from. And by using the water, you don't have to clear out a ton of foliage and stuff like that to start building your base. Just get base foundations and then start building out from here and build on the water, and you have a massive area, and you have a big pile of oil up here for when that becomes relevant, and just through here down in that gorge there are coal in 1, 2, 3, 4 locations. And plus you have that entire part of the plains and everything. Like it's a decent starting location, and that's why I'm putting it at number 3. So what would be better than this, but not necessarily the best? Number 2. This is actually one of the actual start locations. This is the Sand Dune start location. And one of the reasons why I think this is a great place to start is that while you are warned that, hey, there might not be too much water over here, you can actually get enough from over here for what you need. You actually have water just down here, and plenty of it. So plus, if you're using the refined power mod, you have all of these water nodes as well. So for water turbines, you have a perfect setup. You have coal over here for steel. You have plenty of iron, copper, limestone. You have everything you need. There's more limestone. We have copper, limestone. There's like so many resource nodes over here that it is kind of crazy. You can like pick and choose and kind of build however you want. One of my main gripes with this place is that it is quite far away from anything other than like of the more advanced resources. You have Caterium down here, but outside of that, you don't really have any of the more advanced resource nodes available to you. And that is kind of a problem for me. Like, you have to go quite far to get to quartz and such, and sulfur. So that's why this isn't like ranked top level on my list, but it is better than the first one. And this is then the sand dunes, like in the top northeast corner of the map. So yeah, so then the question becomes, what is the best starting location I know of? In my opinion, what is the best starting location? Let's head on over. And here we go, here we are. the best location that, in my opinion, you can start out with to get yourself a bunch of stuff very close together to really get yourself a quick setup that can go all the way up to steel without you having to build a second factory or long running like conveyor buses or truck lines or anything like that. This is the place, and if we look on the map where all three of them are, before I actually go into detail of what you have here, this location on the map, if we scroll out so we see the entire map, this is the location. Alright. This ridge, this entire part, and you're gonna notice, like, because I'm only judging based off of pure nodes for this one, because all of the stuff I'm talking about here are pure nodes. And then we have the other location I was talking about is up here. It's on the west side of this lake is the second part. Right, so let's go for, I'm gonna add you here like so, right? So that's one part. Here's the second one, like it's gonna be around here. And then the other one is down here. Actually, click it, don't right click it, there we go. So if we look at the map, they're quite far from each other. One down here, in the left side of the map, one up here, and one over here. This is number 3, this is number 2, and this is number 1. And if we look at number 1, we have 2 pure quartz nodes. Over here, behind that, we have a pure coal node. Let's see, where have you hidden? There. One pure coal node. Up on the hill, just around the corner from that, you have not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 pure iron nodes. On top of that, you have 2 pure copper nodes. Now you're thinking, okay, but what about concrete? Well, you have not 1, that's 1 pure limestone node, right? Yeah, well, that's not enough to make any kind of significant amount of concrete, right? No, it might not be. So how about we look at the second one that is over here? Let's see if I can actually find it. It's difficult when you're among the trees. Let's double check my notes so I can find it proper. Might actually be outdated information. How they removed that node? No, there it is. There we go. That's a second pure limestone node. So then on top of that, the quartz nodes, right? But then you're thinking like, okay, but isn't like Caterium more important? Yeah, well, just over here, you actually have on the other side of this little ridge, right? If I go up a little bit, we look from on top, just on the other side, you have the water here, and then on the other side of this little thing over here, on top of the hill, boom, Caterium ore. And that's a pure node too. Which means that you have copper, you have coal, you have Caterium, iron, limestone, you have all of that. And all of those are pure nodes. And let me be clear, that's not even close to everything that you get from just starting over here. Because just if you go to the west, just over the hill, like over here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 normal coal nodes. You have more pure iron. You have more copper. Also a normal node. On top of that, when they unlock it, you have the thorium. Like thorium is a pure, refined energy thing, but like having thorium close by for late game stuff, perfectly well. Let's see, what more do we have in this area aside from like the abundance of water that you might need for your setups? Oh yeah, that's right. Just on the other side of all of this, over here, you have all the oil you might need. This is oil central. Over here, and I kid you not, you will be able to find not 1, not 2, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different oil nodes. 2 pure, 3 normal, and then 5 impure for the largest concentration of oil in one area. And then just going slightly to the east into the Rockies, over here, not too far away, especially not by the time you're getting to the oil stuff. Over here, you have another 3 nodes, 2 impures and 1 normal, meaning you will have access to all the oil you might ever possibly need. So keep in mind that the other 2 starting points, they are simpler for a beginner. I would definitely say that the first one, like the third on the list, is the easiest for a beginner to try out, but this one has everything. And if you want to start building vertically, this place will challenge you to do exactly that. So, for that reason, this, in my opinion, is the best starting location you could possibly have. Actually, this is probably the starting location I will use when I make my 1.0 series, once the game fully releases. So yeah, when you pick a starting location, that not being important, I want to be clear, starting location is not important unless you feel the need to be locked down, then that is going to be here. Okay? And in second place, in second place over here, and in third place down here. Okay? So, as easy as that, and I hope that this helps you consider a little bit, like at least think about like what is in the area, and you can find a map where you can check all of this out on satisfactorycalculator.com. Satisfactory-calculator.com. If you just Google it, it's going to be one of the first results. So yeah, and I'm also going to leave it in the description. So if you want to go and check out the map and actually pick a really nice location for yourself, that is definitely the place to check that out. And as long as you have plenty of the iron, copper, and limestone, you can have all the basic stuff set up for yourself. So this is just because it means that you can have one factory doing a lot more before you have to venture out and make more factories. So I hope that this helps, and if it does, leave a like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think is the best starter location in Satisfactory.